Okay, today we are opening up the Klingon Bird of Prey Star Trek The Next Generation Innerspace set. And this is pretty typical of the line. It's got a very 90s red, orange, purple color scheme on the box. Got our spec sheet there and our little punch out card here. I'm going to go ahead and set this down and get started on that. Cut this here, open it on up. I do like the fact that most of the toys in this particular line came in a very wide range of scales, and they were all fairly affordable. This was probably the chance to just kind of grab some almost impulse buy money from the kiddos, because I can't imagine any of these would have been super expensive even back in the day. I'm going to set this chip aside for the moment and look at the figures. The card is nice and yellowed, but that means nothing to me. I'm happy the way things are. Okay, so we've got Worf. Now, this is a somewhat disappointing figure. I'm not going to lie. I mean, again, this is a very small figure. It's hard to get a lot of detail at this scale. I guess they did a reasonably good job at the hair. You can kind of detect some ridges on the top of the head. The baldric is not painted at all. I don't know if that's an error with this particular figure or if they just all came like that. You see the bare hint of a Starfleet badge there. But they did get the pocket. This is probably a tricorder that's on his hip there, because these pants theoretically didn't have pockets, although there were some pants that did. So I can assume it's a tricorder. And he has a fist with a hole in it, like he could hold something, but there's no way they would make an accessory that small that they could actually fit it in there. That may just be a paint dab, honestly, but it's an indent that's very noticeable even at this scale. And he's got a very visible thumb on the other hand. That's interesting. Okay, and our Klingon figures is supposed to be a particular Klingon. Checking. It's Gowron. Okay, well, looking at Gowron's, you can almost make out those Gowron eyes there. You can kind of figure it. I mean, it's more the eyebrows, but those sockets are big, so we can kind of assume he must have the big eyes. They did a pretty good job painting that phaser there. It's a slightly different tone than the rest of the arm, so there's a couple different colors on here. They did pretty well by this one. I'll give them that. Okay, putting that aside, pull out the Bird of Prey, and I've kind of picked on these sets a bit because they are so weirdly out of scale with everything else. But this one is, well, it's still out of scale, but it's fun in a fun way. We've got, because the Klingon Bird of Prey bridges are so cramped, and got a little platform here where they can walk back and forth. The chair does swivel. That's a nice touch. There's a little button down here that doesn't seem to do anything. And the guards are a sticker on the back wall there, and this is apparently the door that goes to what should be the engine room. It would actually be the door out of the ship on this figure here. So, flip it upside down. And what's this? That looks like it should open, but it does not. I was just kind of wondering if there's something else hidden there. There's a lot of eye candy here. Some little visual details here, like these little control panels. And these are just stickers, but, I mean, it's nice that they made the effort. When something gets this small and this cheap, there's kind of a temptation to not do anything, and it looks like they made effort where they could. Playmates, I should say. And I'm going to sit Gowron there, and Worf could be kind of acting as a liaison here, or maybe they're on a covert ops mission where they're not supposed to acknowledge that Starfleet's involved. And let's see here. On some of these, you can actually fold them up with the figures inside, and that is nice because it means it's going to be a little easier to store. and I'm going to have a slightly lesser chance of losing those figures on the floor. I'll put it back in the bubble, but it's, the profile view is not its friend. Or the face-on view is not its friend because the bridge is a lot smaller than the body, and it looks a little weird. But hey, I like it. It's going to have a spot on my shelf.